Morning. Good morning and welcome back to the Ahn Rho Project. Today we have possibly 3 streams, but I believe most likely we'll only be able to get through one, unfortunately. Um, there's been a lot of planning that I need to do because there's at least 15 different streams upcoming that I have to plan the content for as a result of just a whole bunch of things falling together. If you take a look at my previous live streams, welcome back from Twitch, YouTube, Periscope, wherever you're coming from. You will notice that in the previous live streams about a week ago, I mentioned that the whole month has been very chaotic and I've had to do take care of things in money, finance, relationships, all coming together at once. And so for today's stream, we're going to be covering the first of 3 streams. If we can even get through this one, I don't know. Just some travel and some clothing. As you see in the title, what you see in the title is what you get, what you see in the photographs. Scouting, recon, we're going to be talking a little bit about some ideas I had in mind, and just as I was going throughout the past 3-4 weeks, trying to take care of all the obligations and duties and commitments, what sort of things I had passed by that I kept track of or took note of, especially places like clothing that I needed for winter coming up, as well as some places that or some strategies or just some general logistical things to take note of. For example, in the title it says bus stop. I'm going to show a photograph about that. In addition to that, we'll be testing a new technique on stream because usually I don't actually stream with my phone facing towards me, but today's the first time I'm doing that, so we're going to try something else because I have so many photographs that I need to get through. So that's what we have in store today, mostly photographs, a bit of travel and logistics, and some clothing, and that's all on the first stream, which is this one. If you want an introduction, the introduction is basically this is a self-therapeutic multimedia project for me to solve the goals and problems in my life, solve the challenges and problems in my life, as well as to reach the goals and ambitions that I have set for myself. It's broken into many sub-series, from the 1000 days till death, focuses on management, time constraints. If you only had 100 hours left in your life, how would you live those moments? That's roughly about 4 days, right? Another one is item catalog, focuses on material catalogs, so a lot of item keeping. We're going to move forward with that tomorrow morning as well. Some grocery items, a lot of grocery items actually. As well as a third major sub-series focuses on, I guess I used to call it at the beginning mother's deathbed, but I guess I can just say caregivers, saving a life, saving a caregiver if I can. It's regarding health of my guardians, the people who raised me from, or they didn't really raise, I had to raise myself, but in terms of them providing the basic necessities like food, shelter, they did all that. And so I'm trying to, I guess, save a life if I can. Now, with that being said, there's other segments aside from these major sub-series of the Ahn Rho Project, such as money, finance, relationships, hobbies, interests. All that kind of stuff will be covered in due time, eventually, as we work throughout the next 2 years remaining or so of the Ahn Rho Project. At least the first phase of the Ahn Rho Project is only about 3 years. So that being said, why don't we deep dive into what we said we want to cover in this stream. And so the first thing I have to mention is, yes, in fact, I am using my phone while it's facing me this time. Usually I have it the other way for privacy reasons, and I block out. So it's just a little technique. I just put a black little piece of paper and I cover up the camera for the selfie. I'm not a selfie person. I don't do that kind of stuff. And so for me, if anything, I just cover it up. I don't let the camera have any sort of potential for capturing my face during the day by accident. But for this stream, I'm trying something different. And so I have about 6 photographs. You see 4 of them right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's all clothing. All that we'll talk about in a second, but I want to talk about basically photography and some video live streaming methods that I want to test out. Right now, I'm going to try and do on camera is I'm going to try and switch out 2 or 3 of these photographs you see right here, and it says Canada Geese or something like that. That's the brand. No, Canada something, Canada weatherproof something. It's basically clothing I was passing by in one of the in one of the shopping malls while I was getting groceries, and I noted to myself almost a year ago that I wanted to come back to this store right here that sells Oriental clothing. And in this case, it's all a bunch of vests. That's the new arrivals for this season as winter's coming up. And I said last year that there was something that really captivated me, and I wanted to go there because I saw a really good deal for only about, I believe it was the first one was for $25, another one was for $50 for a really warm jacket, and I wanted to go there and make sure that I was prepared the next year. So, you know, and the previous years before that, I was wearing everything that was torn up. I was kind of in tatters. You would sort of believe I might be from homeless, might be on the streets if you had seen what I was wearing at some point. But let's not get back into that for a second. Long story short, I was passing by. So I took a few photographs when I was passing by that store this year because the winter arrivals started coming in. And so I just took a few photographs of some things that I thought might be of interest to me. And I didn't, you know, that's one way to do things without having to purchase it. You just go and take a photograph in person. And so there's the tag, there's a few of the vests in gray and black and red. Those are the kind of colors that are part of my brand as the Ahn Rho Project. And so they're also fitting for me because I just like it. Now, of course, now I want to talk about the photography aspect, right? I mentioned wanting to, and live streaming techniques. So what I'm going to do right now is on stream, I'm going to try to switch out two of these photographs for the photographs that you see in the title. It says bus stop. And I'm going to try that right now. Usually I can't do that live on stream because it's facing away from me. But this time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to pull it. So there's a media now. And I'm not sure if you can see this. As I'm scrolling down, there's actually a whole bunch of media. And I don't know if you can see, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off just 1, 2, 3, 4. And maybe strategically apply some of them again. So that one's back on. The live stream's still running, so that's good news, okay? Because like I said, I'm just trying this out. This is new stuff for me. Yeah, the stream's still running, so that's nice. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to put in a photograph of two plaza areas. So right here, and I'm going to try to enlarge that on stream as well. So we have this place here, and this is I'm going to move it aside. So far so good. The stream is still running. I probably look like some sort of cactus on stream right now with my arms like this, but needless to say, that's good. So we tested that. So we talked about clothing, we talked about live streaming methods, and now I'm going to try to, again, so this is good. This is good. It means that obviously what I'm doing is working, and why don't I enlarge this a little bit? Okay. So what I want to talk about here now for the third topic of this live stream is just the bus stop and a little bit of the logistical things I was going through while I was there. And the main reason why I want to do this is because, first of all, I want to test doing something like this live on stream. You know, it says that apparently I can add media photographs and media files or audio or special effects on camera while the live stream is running. I've never tried that because, once again, it's always been facing away from me. So this is definitely new for me. Oh, there's a spam bot. Well, that's great. Anyways, aside from that, just ignoring that, we have, of course, I want to talk about the bus stop thing, right? So passing by the bus stop, usually, you know, I sit down and I eat, and this is a habit of mine that I've kept ever since, you know, all my life. I've always been sort of very makeshift. I would try to improvise on the spot because, again, that's just my upbringing. Is we're just not we're in a low income, if not that, not even that, family household. That's what it used to be. I can't even say we're a family, to be honest. But needless to say, I've kept these habits, especially in university. I will always sit down on a curb on a sidewalk. I look for a place to sit down that's nice and quiet, that is, well, somewhat safe as well, though. Of course, you want to have a few passerbys, at least a few witnesses. But, you know, find a place that you can sit down. There's a chair. There's a place where I can use a plug outlet. There's a washroom nearby that's clean. And so I would find places in the public that I felt comfortable and found useful to just sit down and eat or read or study or come up with ideas or solve a certain problem. Kind of like a hideout camp on the outside, but it's not a hideout, it's just in public. And so one of these places I've been passing by is I always used to get frustrated dropping by this intersection here. You may or may not recognize it if you're in GTA, but long story short, in this intersection I always stop by there on frequent occasions while I'm getting groceries, and it's always annoyed me because you're right in the middle of the intersection and there's nothing blocking you from view. You're just standing there in the middle of nowhere. But I oftentimes want to be on my phone writing down ideas. I want to be eating something while I'm waiting for the bus, maybe reading an article or reading a book or something. And so an idea popped up to my mind. Look behind me, there is a flower bed at the very back, and so that's what you see. So it's a little bit of travel exploration, right? I've never actually taken much attention to the environment in such detail in terms of utility, but I'm thinking of using the flower bed, and that's why what you see here up in this photograph. My finger's kind of like, oh, it's huge. You can see there's like a plastic bag aside from flowers and the bench in the backdrop. There are some flowers and stuff like that, and there's also a plastic bag. So that plastic bag has a whole bunch of groceries which I'll be covering tomorrow morning. So that is actually something that I took in mind. And since the flower bed is actually maybe about 10 meters further back from the curb and has a large tree, it's got some shade, so I can sort of cover myself a little bit from the sun. I can sort of read something in a little bit more out of sight. I'm not in the middle of the intersection. It's a very busy intersection. And of course, I now have a place on those stones to place down anything that's heavy. And so there's just some things that go by around my mind. It's nothing complicated, right? But I'm certainly giving a lot of story and background to this. And that's sort of the third topic I wanted to cover today. With that being said, this is the first, and I think it looks like the only live stream I can do today. So with that being said, this is a wrap. I'm going to deliver a take-home message real fast and just end the live stream because this is all I can do today. Looking at the time, I have to go to work in about 40 minutes or so. So take care of yourself. Take-home message, right? Take care of yourself, your health, your finances, the people you care for, as well as yourself. Become a strong, responsible, disciplined individual, because only by becoming that do you have something of value to offer and contribute to the ones you care for. Also, by becoming independent yourself, the people who care about you don't have to worry about you. They can just, rest easy. With that being said, it means that you do have to face the problem and challenges in your life, whether they're health related or financial matters or whatever it is, relationship issues. If you have things that you're aspiring for, spend your time, resources, and energy, whatever, associated towards those activities. If you want to be the next civil engineer, the next pediatrician, or maybe you just have something special for your spouse, for your wife, for your kids, for your grandkids, I don't know who's watching, do those things that are important to yourself and the people who you care for. I don't compromise what I do here on stream for anybody else. I do what I do because it's important to me, it helps me, and I will continue to do what I do steadfast with conviction, 7 days a week. And because I want what's best for you and for you to be happy doing what you need to do to get the priorities done, I recommend people, once again, just drop into my stream once or twice a week on your off time when you're not working. That's all, because you really need to focus on what's important to you first. With that being said, this is the Ahn Rho Project. Thank you for tuning in. Tomorrow, like I said, we'll be covering inventory, but also a continuation of what I had planned today, which is more photographs and more testing, really, with live streaming with the phone facing me. So with that being said, this is the Ahn Rho Project. Thank you to my hypothetical imaginary viewers for tuning in, as well as that goddamn bot right there, but whatever. Traction is traction, right? So take care, stay safe, and I'll see you all tomorrow morning. This is Ahn Rho signing out. Peace. Ciao.